Hello and welcome to the Daily Mill for Monday, the 11th of April 2022. Today we've got a lot of post-match comments from Gary Rowett. He's had a lot to say for himself and for the team, so let's just crack on with that. This is from the news at den.co.uk. Was Gary Rowett being a party pooper by taking Danny Mac off on a hat-trick? Millwall boss responds. Yeah, a bit weird. Danny Mac doesn't really get substituted a lot. Now maybe that's because there's no one to replace him, so he's played a lot of minutes and a lot of time and probably doesn't want him breaking down and getting injured. So maybe let's see what Gary Rowett's got to say for himself. Gary Rowett joked he's not that much of a miserable old git. After it was put to him, he took Danny McNamara off on Saturday with the defender on a hat-trick. McNamara scored the first two goals in a 4-1 win over Barnsley, and home fans shouted shoot whenever he got the ball after that. Rowett was jokingly asked to see if he was being a party pooper after taking McNamara off in the 81st minute, or if he was giving the home support the chance to acclaim the Lions fan. Rowett responded, neither. He had a tight hamstring. He was saying his hamstring was fine. He was saying he was alright because he was desperate to try and get a hat-trick. But then he turned to me about 10 minutes ago and said, no, it's tight. We just don't want to risk those sort of players. I'm not that much of a miserable git that'll try and stop people scoring hat-tricks. That would have been a lovely position to be in at Millwall. The reality is I was quite happy with the 2 goals and that Danny hopefully won't be injured and miss further games. Rowett was also asked if McNamara would have taken a penalty to try and complete a hat-trick. Rowett replied, he wouldn't have taken it, that's for sure. I've seen these penalties and I think Jed Wallace or Benik Afobe would have stepped up. That you think Jed would have given it to him? Now Jed normally takes the penalties. I can see Jed giving it to McNamara. Jed knows how to play the crowd. I think Rowett would probably tell Jed to take it himself. And he probably wouldn't have been happy if they gave it to Danny McNamara, because you just said he can't take. He's not very good at taking penalties in training, but I think Jed, that's the kind of thing Jed would do. He probably would do that. So yeah, maybe he would have tried to give it to him, but I don't know. So there we go, and we have more. So Millwall, this is also from News at Den, a lot from News at Den. I think nearly everything's from News at Den today. Millwall boss on loan Stoke striker's goal return as he hits double figures for the first time in 6 seasons. Benik Afobe scored his 10th league goal of the season in the 4-1 win over Barnsley on Saturday, but Millwall boss Gary Rowett believes the forward will not be satisfied with that. Afobe scored the 4th against the Tigers, his 100th goal in club football. The on-loan Stoke City forward has bagged 11 goals in all competitions this season. The first time he's hit double figures in a season since 2015-16 when he scored 14 times for Wolves and Bournemouth. Rowett felt Afobe wouldn't be happy with his current total. I don't think Benik will be. I certainly think he should have had more goals because I know what he's capable of, Rowett said. I've said it before, I think he's every bit as good as the majority of the top strikers in this division. You saw it with his finish, he was clinical. He's had other good chances in games and I think he'll be a little bit disappointed he's not somewhere closer to 15 goals, which I think would be more reflective of the chances he's had. But I think he's had a positive season. It's the most goals he's scored for a while because he's in the same boat as someone like Berkey, where he's not quite had the season and opportunities he's wanted. I think we've given him a platform and a bit of a home here to go and express himself and take the chances like today. Hopefully he can get a couple more before the season's finished. Indeed. Not only that, but what happens next season now? Do Stoke want him? Will Stoke play him? Does he want to play for Stoke? It seems he's playing for Millwall's bringing out the best of him for a long time, since 2015. So that's 7 years ago. His best football. Now it seems next season is he's in his last year of his contract at Stoke, and normally when that happens they don't loan players out. But will they need to get him off the wage bill? Will they demand that we pay more wages? Because I wouldn't imagine that we're loaning him and paying all of his wages. Maybe we are, I don't know. But will he take a wage cut to come here? Don't know, but you don't know. You're a long time retired, so I imagine he'll try and get as much money as he can. But he's done all right, hasn't he? He hasn't done that badly. I mean, fans probably expect more from him than he's given, but he hasn't done that badly, and he's not done yet. He's still going. We've still got 5 games to go, so let's crack on. Here we go again from Rowett and News at Den. Quite the team. Mill Chief, that's Rowett, on running after Sheffield United and Blackburn. Middlesbrough and QPR failed to win. Other results went Millwall's way in the playoff race on Saturday, but boss Gary Rowett knows that will count for nothing unless the Lions put a winning run together. Millwall's 4-1 win over Barnsley on Saturday was their first victory in 4 games. The Lions closed the gap to from 6 to 4 points. Sheffield United, Blackburn, Middlesbrough and QPR failed to win. Mill have 5 games left this season. I think we're going to have to put a run together, quite simply. There's no other way of looking at it, Rowett said when asked about other results. The games are going. We've probably got to win 2 more games than a lot of sides, but it's a great challenge. It's a nice position to be in, like I've said. It's 3 seasons now, and we've been in a position probably every season. It's not easy to take the next step, but I think what's important is the players give everything they've got to try. That's all we can do, and I think that's all that's expected of the players. Certainly today was a much better second half. We've got to try and do the same thing for the next game. Millwall scored 4 goals in a game for the first time since they defeated Bristol City 4-1 on the second last day of last season. Rowett added, "We've had chances, that's the thing. We've had a lot of chances this season. Obviously, we get the opportunity to watch all those chances back. We get to see where we are in the league table of chances created. We get to see all of those statistics to judge our performances, to get into those positions. The next bit of quality, of course, is to be clinical and finish those chances off when you need to. We saw it against Swansea. If you don't take your chances, you're not going to win a game or score the goals that you need to win games a little bit more comfortably. Today, it was nice to get those goals. We could have had more. I thought they were more goals for us today. Barnsley conceded quite a few goals in the second half of games, and that's why it was important at half time we had a stronger performance second half. And then we did indeed. If you saw my video yesterday, stats video, I talk about that a lot. I've talked about that. So we're going to move on to this now, again from Gary Rowett and again from news@den.co.uk. Millwall manager provides update on skipper ahead of Easter games against Preston and Hull. Sean Hutchinson was gutted at just missing out on the matchday squad against Barnsley. Millwall boss Gary Rowett revealed Hutchinson has been back in training and should be available for the Easter games against Preston and Hull. Hutchinson has been out of a calf injury he picked up in a 1-0 win over Sheffield United on February 26. He was close to being in the squad today, Rowett said. He was gutted he wasn't in the squad, but I just felt as though we were in a position where we could wait with him. We could get him to train this morning with the under-23s, another session. He'll train next week and be a little bit closer. I'm pretty sure he'll be back in the squad come the Preston game. But it's been out a while, and whereas before we were rushing people back because we had no players, now we've got quite a lot of players, so there's no real need or desperation to do that. We've got to try and bring them back at the right time so they can stay fit for the rest of the season. Well, we have a very, very short turnaround this weekend from Friday to Monday, especially with the away trip all the way up to Lancashire on Good Friday, and apparently it's going to be a bit of a nightmare. The traffic on Friday, they've been saying, yeah, so that might not be fun and games come Friday. So we're probably going to need him, and hopefully Rowett doesn't drag his feet. He realises that it's very, very short turnaround. We saw what happened with the Luton and the Swansea, and that was a Saturday to Tuesday. We're going now Friday to Monday. He needs to make a lot of changes. Even if you put people on the bench and bring them on later, that's fine. We need fresh legs. Fresh legs of a player who's not as good as a tired player. Play the fresh legs and then bring the quality on late on when they've got 30 minutes to play. they can do that. Don't play tired people, especially in that Hull game. Because if we lose at home to Hull when the situation at other places is going towards us, this is not going to be fucking good. It really isn't. The crowd will fucking be boiling on Easter Monday. I'm sure it's going to be a decent crowd. Bank Holiday Monday. So make the changes. Don't worry about how many changes you're making. Just make them. We've got loads of players. We've got Pearce, Muller, Hutchison. The only thing, Leonard at right wing back. I don't know if that really works. But yeah, just make the changes. Don't be scared. Moving on now to this from, again, news at den.co.uk, but this time it's Danny McNamara. Millwall's Danny Mac on his first 2 goals, crowd roaring shoot and promise from teammate. Danny McNamara said getting his first goals for his boyhood club at the Den was a cherry on top on his 50th Millwall appearance. McNamara scored the first 2 goals in the 4-1 win over Barnsley on Saturday. The second in front of the Coldblow Lane end. His first was a left-footed finish that he admitted was scruffy. McNamara ran in at the back post to head home. He's second from Scott Malone's cross from the left. Gary Rowett said earlier this season McNamara needed to add more attacking output to his game. McNamara revealed Rowett and coach Paul Robinson had been encouraging him to make runs to the back post to get on the end of crosses. Just like Jesus, seeing as it's Easter. I was just delighted to get my first goal for Millwall, McNamara said. I didn't realise I was going to get a second one, but I'll take it. I was delighted to get my first goal in front of the Millwall fans as well. It was the cherry on top, to be honest. The gaffer's been on at me about making a back stick. Paul Robinson as well. Which Paul? I imagine that's the... not Robbo. That's the we've got 2 Paul Robinsons at the club now. Every time I see Paul Robinson, I assume it's the one that played for us. Robbo, but I think it's the other one, the grey-haired one from Birmingham City. He was mostly at. So I think it's him. I've just been working on it. The first was off my left foot into the near corner. It was a bit of a scruffy goal, but they all count, don't they? So I'll take it. Scott Malone put a great ball in for the second, like he does most of the time. I was just there to finish it. It was a special moment for me. The players were buzzing for me as well. They've been on at me. When am I going to get my first goal? When am I ever going to score? It was even better doing it in front of the fans. I was actually used to playing in the back 4 earlier in his career. I went to St Johnstone, played in the back 5, playing wing back, playing really high. That was with Callum Davidson. I just learned it really well every game. Still learning it now. It's something that I wanted to add to my game. Goals and assists. Unfortunately, 2 goals came today. It all depends on what formation they're playing, whether to make runs to the back post. To make the back stick, you've got to read Scotty's ball, wherever he's crossing the ball. You've got to make sure you're there in time, and if it breaks down, get back into position. It's a tough position to play up and down. I'm still learning it. I'm really enjoying playing there. I've got 2 now and I want to get more. There are 5 games left this season. I want to go, yes, I want to get a few more. So he reckons he's going to score more in the last 5 games of the season. Well, I'll tell you what, son, if you can score 2 goals every game, then we're guaranteed in the playoffs. So yes, please. If I don't, I'm not going to dwell on it. I'm just going to keep giving my all for the team week in and week out and see what happens. McNamara was asked if he had the feeling he might break his duck in his 50th game. He replied, I sometimes get a feeling every game that I might score. To be honest, that was out of my mind. I didn't really think about the 50th appearance thing. I was just more concentrated on the game and getting a goal. 2 goals were special and a good time for me. The home support were encouraging McNamara to shoot whenever he got the ball after his second. McNamara was taken off with 9 minutes left. He said, I think it was 40 yards out on the right wing and they were telling me to shoot, and I thought, is the keeper of his line? Maybe, I don't know. It was quite funny actually there. I've been in there as a fan as well. I cramped up a bit in my left hamstring, but I'm totally fine. I'm ready to go again next week. McNamara pardon me. McNamara revealed a promise to him when he was on a hat-trick. McNamara said, Benicophobe said I could take a penalty, so if he let me have it, I think I would have taken it, to be honest. I might have gotten in trouble with the gaffer at the end, but it would have been a hat-trick or could have been a hat-trick. There you go. I told you that they would let him do it. I don't know about Jed, but Bennick said. So he's saying Bennick said he would give it. Would Jed? I think Jed would have given it too, because if we were if it happened when we were 2-1 up, probably not. 3-1 up, yeah, probably. But 4-1, definitely they would have let him take a penalty. They definitely would have let him take a penalty. Millwall are 4 points off 6 with 5 games left. McNamara added, obviously it's really nice to still have a playoff chance, but we're just going to take every game as it comes, get as many points as we can and see where that puts us after each game. We're not going to treat any game differently. We're going to go out there and give 100% and hopefully we can get the results. We'll give it a right go. Well, yes, I hope you do. I hope you do, Danny. Thank you very much for those 2 goals, and here's the more. So we got this now from millwallfc.co.uk. So first and only story not involving News and Den. Millwall's Billy Mitchell wins PFA Championship Player in the Community Award. Midfielder scoops prize for sterling work. There you go. So the Professional Footballers Association, that's the Players Union, has given an award to Billy Mitchell. Millwall Football Club and Millwall Community Trust are delighted to announce that Billy Mitchell has won the 2022 PFA Player in the Community Award with a Sky Bet Championship. A local boy, Billy is passionate about giving back to the community he grew up in and has experienced firsthand the benefits of Millwall's community work. And despite his young age, the 21-year-old has demonstrated great levels of maturity and professionalism while connecting with local people of all ages and background, using the power of football to strengthen the community. Becoming heavily involved in work with Community Trust is a no-brainer for me, Mitchell said. As someone who grew up in the local area and benefited from Millwall Community Trust's outstanding work, giving something back only seems right. The sessions that the Trust put on, as well as the education they give, is vitally important in and around the Den, and I'm only happy to continue producing my input to put smiles on faces. Meanwhile, Sean Daly, MCT CEO, added, Billy has always been very supportive of the Community Trust and the work it does in the local area. Billy has been a player ambassador with responsibility for NCS projects for the last 2 seasons, and even during these challenging times for the local community, he's shown his support various initiatives like the NHS Hospital Heroes project and our free of charge food and activity sports camps. Billy has shown maturity through his age and uses his platform as a professional footballer to host workshop talks for the Trust around current topics such as mental health and EDI. For such a young player, Billy has an incredibly professional approach to everything he does around being a footballer, said Gary Rowett. I've scarcely come across a player with work ethic like his, and he's very clearly those endeavours stretch beyond what happens on the pitch into far more life-changing matters. Its community work is something that the football club takes incredibly seriously, and Billy is a shining example of the impact that it can make. He is a great ambassador for Millwall, for the community, and for his family. It's a true credit to himself. Furthermore, Steve Kavanagh, Millwall CEO, commented on Billy's accolade by saying Billy is a player who's risen through our academy, and as such the club's culture, traditions and values are ingrained in him, and that is why he places so much importance in the community work that he does. A lot of players go home after training and occupy their free time in various ways, but I know that Billy is someone who wants to derive maximum benefit from his. What he chooses to do is benefit others, and I think that's incredibly admirable and mature attitude from someone so young. The winners from each of the 3 EFL divisions will contest the overall award, with the winner announced live at the EFL Awards on Sunday the 24th of April. So there you go. Now here you go. So Omar Beckles, former Millwall youngster, I don't think he made a first team appearance, but he was good to see him work his way back up through the ranks. He's getting back in professional football. Billy Mitchell there, of course, for the Championship, and Brian Innes for Charlton Athletic. Formerly of Crystal Palace as well, Crystal Palace youth team. So there you go, all London situation there. Now, the Loan Watch. No one else did it today. I'll briefly tell you. Maybe they'll do it tomorrow. So Isaac Loffey started for Sutton United. I forget what their result was, but yeah, I don't think he scored. And surprisingly, Dan Moss, I think he came on as a substitute, or maybe he started. I'll let you know tomorrow. Actually, I'll do a proper Loan Watch. But Dan Moss was involved for Leighton Orient, which was weird, but he came back. Yes, so I'll let you know about that tomorrow, but before then, the prophecy that one foretold yesterday, or maybe the day before, I can't remember, in my video. Luton Town. They lost to Huddersfield Town today, which is absolutely fantastic for us, because here's what that does to the table. Huddersfield Town have jumped up above Nottingham Forest. Yes, and Luton are there on 65. Now Luton haven't won a game in 3 games. They've drawn 2, lost 1. I think their arseholes might be going. Their little backsides are twitching. I think they might be wobbling. Now here's the thing as well. Like I said in my video the other day, that's our target, Luton. Sheffield United have got too many home games against shit teams. I think Sheffield United will get in playoffs. Forest are on an absolute amazing run. Hopefully it carries on for the next game. I'll tell you why in a minute. So what we're looking at is us, Middlesbrough, Blackburn and Luton playing for that one place. Yeah. We go back here again. So the team that just jumped above Huddersfield, Nottingham Forest, Huddersfield, just beat Luton. So now Nottingham Forest have got to go to Luton and they get a chance to jump back up. Isn't it? It's like poetry. It's all synergy. It's all connecting. It's all the strands are coming together. It's like a massive conspiracy theory. But yeah, it's amazing. And this happens on Friday morning. That Luton have to get up early, but Nottingham Forest do as well. 12:30 kickoff. Hopefully Nottingham Forest fucking smashed Luton Town. And we'll know by the time that our game kicks off at 3 o'clock whether we have the real possibility of getting at Luton Town. If our playoff dream is actually real and possible, we will know by the time this game kicks off. If you're going to this game, let the players know, get on their back, support them, let them know. Luton are fucking wobbling. Let's fucking go and beat Preston, get the 3 points, and we can fucking do this. Yes, we can. So yeah, that's it for today's video. Thank you for watching.